This headstone in East London is the final resting place of a young girl who left England for a better life, only to return in a coffin 2 years later. Her terrifying journey to an early grave began 30 years ago, across the globe on a suburban street in West Auckland, New Zealand.
She's fun.
She's a really nice person.
Starting to live life, get out into the world.
I can see her dancing.
Oh, she's a terror.
On January the 29th, 1976, 13-year-old Tracey Ann Patient was walking home with a friend.
Just laughter and skipping and having fun.
It was a mild summer's evening in the school holidays.
I take you so far, but I've got to go now.
Outside the Henderson police station, Tracey waved goodbye to her friend and continued up Great North Road alone.
She knows not to talk to strangers. She's not silly.
I've walked towards the car.
But Tracey didn't make it home. The following morning, her lifeless body was found in a remote lay-by with a pair of pantyhose wrapped around her neck. The murder of an innocent schoolgirl shocked New Zealand. Police launched a massive manhunt, but 30 years on, the murder of Tracey Ann Patient remains unsolved.
Time is running out.
How do we know they haven't done it again?
Now 2 psychics will lead investigators in a search for new clues.
She's just there. There she is. She's standing over there.
The psychics will use their remarkable gifts to retrace the schoolgirl's last steps and hunt for her killer.
He comes from this area.
He's gone north.
My team has investigated the psychic's leads and come up with some fascinating new information.
Tracey's family migrated from England in 1974. The Patients settled in the West Auckland suburb of Henderson. The area is known for its stunning surf beaches, bushwalks, vineyards and laid-back residents. Tracey settled in well and soon made friends.
Oh, she had a neat personality. She was so bubbly.
She was quite a bubbly chick and liked to have a laugh.
She was a nice-looking girl. Had an English accent. Yeah, no, she was a nice girl.
Tracey loved music and sport, but her greatest passion was horses. She had a 16-year-old boyfriend and enjoyed hanging out with her older sister's friends.
We go up to the beach and stuff and just hang around all day doing bugger all sort of thing.
We're all rebels. We all had a great time together.
The Patient girls had strict curfews.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's just the way I've brought them up. I've got 3 girls, so obviously I'm on some all the time, you know, and the dangers that are around.
I'm pretty sure the old dad kept a fairly good finger on the pie what was going on.
You had to be home by 11 or 10. That was an unwritten law. And if you weren't, you were in big trouble.
But Tracey found herself in trouble deeper than she could ever have imagined. Her young life, full of promise, was brutally cut short on a summer's night in 1976. Former Detective Bruce Scott was in charge of the murder investigation. In a distinguished career, he rose to the rank of Assistant Police Commissioner. 30 years have passed, but the Tracey Ann Patient case is still firmly etched in his memory.
It was summertime, it was January, we had daylight saving. She had been wanting to go and visit a friend that lived about 3 or 4 kilometres away. She went and visited her, and then her girlfriend walked her halfway home. And it just happened that the halfway point was at the Great North Road, right outside the then Henderson police station.
Ready, see ya. Bye.
The walk from the police station to her home should have taken Tracey less than 10 minutes. She never made it home. The following morning, a dog made a gruesome discovery in Scenic Drive, 16 kilometres away from Great North Road.
We let the dogs out first thing. Immediately afterwards, Snell started barking and making strange noises. And we both went over the road together, and there it was, the body.
Tracey was found lying on her back. She was fully clothed, although her jeans that she had on were pulled down partly around her buttocks. That could have occurred when she was being pulled out of the car. So there was no evidence of sexual assault at all, but she was just lying there on her back, as I say, fully clothed with this tourniquet around her neck. The tourniquet was made by a pair of pantyhose being placed around her neck and a piece of stick being twisted round, and in fact she actually died from manual strangulation.
The murder shattered Tracey's family. In a tragic irony, the Patients had moved to New Zealand because they wanted their daughters to grow up in a safe environment. They were so distressed, they fled to England, taking Tracey's body with them.
I think it just destroyed the family. Well, it did. It destroyed the family, totally.
The social impact in Henderson, I think, was quite significant.
It was just a big shock to everybody, really.
I think it was the turning point of society like it is today.
I mean, there was a lot of pressure on me.
Police established any suggestion of a motive yet?
No, we haven't. This was a particularly nasty case where an innocent girl of 13 had been seemingly plucked off the street, strangled and dumped up in the hills. So, I mean, it was something that all responsible parents dread.
Next, as Henderson reels, pressure mounts for police to find the schoolgirl's killer, and everyone comes under the spotlight.
Oh yeah, I was hassled, really hassled.
The police gave me a hard time.
In a murder investigation, the first 48 hours are critical, and police working on the Tracey Ann Patient case knew they had to act quickly to gather evidence.
Because of the nature of the lay-by, there was nowhere that fingerprints would be preserved, neither on her body or even on the likes of the tourniquet.
Police found no tyre tracks or footprints. In fact, there was nothing at the lay-by to indicate the murder had taken place there.
It's our interpretation of our examination there that she had actually just been dumped where she was. She had been killed somewhere else.
In order to find out exactly where Tracey was killed, the police tried to piece together her last journey home.
Tracey was last seen alive in the vicinity of this intersection. Earlier in the evening, she had been visiting a friend in Chilcot Avenue, which is about half a mile down Edmonton Road here from the police station.
Tracey's friend Lynette was the last person to see her alive.
This house here is my family home on that night. We were there for a couple of hours and we just mucked around and just chatted and listened to music and what teenagers do.
Yeah, I'll be leaving now. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, bye.
Tracey had to be home by 9:30, so we just walked down here.
Little boat on them, really. Yeah.
The girls took a shortcut through Toohey Glen Motor Camp.
This is a shortcut that Tracey and I took to get to the main road through the park here. This is where Tracey and I parted.
Alrighty, see ya.
And she walked up that hill, and when she turned around to wave, I just waved to her, and then I just went back that way to go back to my house. And that was the last I saw of Tracey.
Lynette arrived home safely, but Tracey didn't make her 9:30 p.m. curfew.
John Patient here, sorry to call you so late.
Her worried father phoned Lynette's house.
Yeah, it was later, weren't it? Getting a wee bit dark, I think, weren't it?
Yeah.
I don't suppose Tracey's left already, is she?
No, she's left a long while ago. Lynette's been, I remember saying that. Lynette's been home for ages.
Yeah, I was home when her father rang us that night and she still hadn't got home.
Okay, thanks anyway.
Well, of course, the reality was she didn't arrive home. Her father became concerned.
Is that the police?
Finished up bringing the police sometime after midnight, which is perfectly understandable.
For police, the key question was how Tracey ended up in a lay-by 16 kilometres from Great North Road.
She obviously got from the Great North Road to the Scenic Drive somehow, obviously in a car.
Well, I can categorically tell you this now, there's no way that Tracey would have got in a car with someone she didn't know. That just wasn't her.
No way would she get in. I'm positive of it.
That suggests then, in a way, doesn't it, that it was someone she either knew or at least thought she knew.
That's the way I see it, or forced in.
We couldn't dismiss the possibility that it was some complete stranger that had literally dragged her off the street. If that had occurred, she would have screamed and all those sort of things that would have drawn attention to herself.
Police were particularly interested in tracing a car seen acting suspiciously on Great North Road on the night Tracey was killed.
It's a white 1967 Cortina, painted white or cream. It's our best suspect vehicle.
Police never found the white Cortina.
There's dozens and dozens of suspects in them, so it's a case of laboriously going through them and eliminating them one by one, and hopefully we have our offender amongst them.
The boyfriend was certainly a suspect, as were any of the boys that she associated with.
Oh yeah, I was hassled, really hassled, intensely.
The police gave me a hard time. I was down there practically every day. They were trying to get, answers out of me, and I didn't know anything.
Tracy's boyfriend and many of her friends were at a concert on the night of the murder, which ruled them out of the investigation.
The list of suspects, went on and on. I mean, it ran into 600 or 700 in the end. How do you eliminate them? We didn't have fingerprints at the scene. So therefore you ask yourself, well, why was she killed? What happened? What happened with the offender and Tracey that gave him or her, and probably him, cause to kill her? I mean, she was just an innocent 13-year-old, and those are some of the questions that we haven't got answers to at this point.
Next, two psychics will call on the spirit world to help them come up with new leads by returning to the night of January the 29th, 1976.
She knows not to talk to strangers.
She doesn't know this person.
She's not silly.
What happened with the offender and Tracey? Why was she killed? Did they see her? Were they the offenders? Was she killed in the car? What happened? Those are some of the questions that we haven't got answers to at this point.
The cruel killer of schoolgirl Tracey Ann Patient has evaded police since 1976. The file is still open, but the trail has gone cold. Now two psychics will ask the spirit of Tracey to help them identify her murderer. To assist in the Tracey Ann Patient murder inquiry, a New Zealand and an Australian psychic have been selected. 70 psychics from across New Zealand were tested. A little-known solved murder was chosen for the testing procedure. Presented with only a photograph of the victim, the psychics were asked to produce details of the crime, the location and the killer. Of the 70 psychics tested, only 3 were able to describe intimate details of the case. One of these New Zealand psychics, Sue Nicholson, has been chosen to investigate the Tracey Ann Patient murder. Sue works full-time as a psychic medium. She often takes on the persona of the spirit and lets them write using her hands.
Well, as a child, I used to see people, dead people, in my bedroom, and they used to come and sit on my bed and tell me things.
100 Australian psychics were also tested. Only 5 were able to provide intimate details of the obscure solved murder used in the testing procedure. One of these psychics, Deb Webber, will assist in the Tracey Ann Patient case. Deb openly lives and communicates with the spirit world. She is a columnist and holds seminars that present life after death as a reality.
I can feel them, touch them, have the scent come through, I can taste.
I certainly have always accepted that, that advice from anybody.
I think psychics could be a good idea. Why not? Try anything.
They're an oddball lot. They grab your hand and say, oh, you'll live to 120, and next week you're dead.
The psychics have been told that they are working on an unsolved murder, but they have not been given any details of the case or the people involved. The psychics have never met and have been kept separate from each other at all times. They have been kept under constant supervision to prevent them researching the case. Only positive statements were confirmed. Each psychic was filmed non-stop in one day. Deb is given a photograph of Tracey, which she chooses to keep face down.
We're going for a woman here. She doesn't feel that old. But she's not a little girl. So she could even be young teen, but trying to be older. So I'd say around about 13.
Tracey was 13 when she died. On a different day, Sue was also given a photo of Tracey, which she chooses to look at.
She's a really nice person. She used to love music. I can see her dancing. And she had an old record player or something.
There's an animal here that she loves. And the colour brown keeps coming in. It's a horse. I'm sure it's a horse because I can see the ears. Oh. So she likes riding.
Oh, she used to love horses. She used to always wanted a horse.
Tracey did love horses and she dreamed of owning one.
I keep getting England.
Funny I want to say English, but that's what she's saying.
Because she's saying the way I speak, the way I talk, and she's laughing about that.
Tracey and her family emigrated from England 2 years before the murder.
When it first began, when I first came into the room, I picked up an A with the name, Anne. She smiled when I said Anne.
I don't know, I'm getting an initial E. I don't know what that means.
Getting like a longer name to the Anne.
Getting C and then it's E still coming up.
She said gem before and ruby, and now she's gone treasure. So she's... Oh, she's a terror. T, you're terror. She went... She's nodding. Oh. Tracey. Tracey.
Within minutes, Deb has named the victim.
70 plus 6, 76. With the year I think she went missing.
1976. 1976. She just drawed it on the picture, 1976.
Which months do you want me to go to? Starting. So January. Starting. Before school. Because I've got it just in school holidays or something here when she went missing.
Tracey was killed during the school holidays on January the 29th, 1976.
She was walking. She was going back home.
She had been with friends, a girlfriend or something.
For some reason, taking that shortcut. I keep getting shortcut. She was going through this park or going through this area of a park because I'm seeing, let's see, swings, roundabouts.
Isn't it there's a park somewhere? I can feel a park, but the park seems to be behind me. So she's walking away from the park.
After saying goodbye to her friend outside Henderson Police Station, Tracey began walking on her own up Great North Road. What happened to her next remained a mystery, until now.
It's a car. Show me the car. So she's ignoring the car. She's walking straight ahead and she's walking a little bit faster.
There's a man.
Hey, how's it going?
She doesn't know this person. She doesn't know him.
He stopped her and he's talking.
How's it going?
I don't like him. Unshaven.
She knows not to talk to strangers. She's not silly.
I feel sick.
But she's on her own. There's no one around.
And I'm wondering...
Asks me a question.
Do you know where...
Wants to know where the place is.
Yeah, sure. Where are you trying to go?
He's pretending asking for directions or something like that.
He's looking around to see if anybody's watching.
And she's answering him. And he said, can you have a look at my map sort of thing? Because she's walking too close to the car, but she's actually walking to the car.
I walks towards the car.
It's just over here.
They were talking, all of a sudden they're pulling her.
Grabs me.
Put their hand over her mouth or something here, because I've just got her pulling.
Got one hand over her mouth.
And he's pushed.
Another one round.
She's gone in.
The car.
Shut up! He pushed her into the car. She didn't go willingly.
Don't make a noise.
She was just walking down the street. It's like random.
She's really emotional. Well, she would be. She's murdered.
Oh, this is the hardest part for them, going through their own death again, so we'll just have to give her a bit of a breather for a moment.
For the first time, Tracey has been able to explain how she ended up in her killer's car. Next, the psychics uncover a crucial detail.
Got something around her neck.
It's pressing on my throat.
Like a string or rope.
Psychics Sue and Deb have been deadly accurate in describing the short life of Tracey Ann Patient. They've revealed that she was abducted by a stranger. Now they ask Tracey to describe him.
I get that he's, white, Caucasian.
He's got brown hair, because you can see the roots of his hair. It looks like he's got like a tip or something in it.
Dark hair, quite grey.
The only way it could be lighter is probably the grey.
I feel like it was a bit longer at the back here. It seems to be shorter here and longer at the back there.
He's fairly unshaven. He's got, you can feel hair on the face.
Unshaven.
And he's got dirty fingers with grease or whatever.
Messing about with an engine, fiddling oil in his hand, dirty hands.
I feel that he works in like a factory, but I feel that he's a manual worker, but he lifts heavy machinery.
I get a light blue car, a square-shaped.
I'm getting the indication of a light-coloured car.
To me, he stalks and waits for an opportunity to pounce. I do feel that he has tried to do this before.
I feel that he's done this before. He just drives around looking and then, picks his victims.
I feel like he was also watching round the school.
Deb and Sue have painted a vivid description of Tracey's killer. Now they ask her again to relive her frightening last moments after he forced her into his car.
He was screaming.
Screaming at him.
Screaming at the top of her voice.
Shut up! Shut up! Now I've got the struggle and the hand over him. She's bit him or something here. For a bite.
She keeps shouting at me.
If you don't be quiet, I'm going to go and kill your family or something around her.
Crying, no.
She's got tears coming down her face. She's crying. She doesn't know what to do.
I feel like he's pulled her hair.
He's got her hair.
He's got his thumb right here and it's pressing on my throat.
Got something around her neck.
It's like my vocal cords being...
Couldn't breathe, and that's the neck, getting tightness around my neck area. He's driving. He's starting the car up.
Lights, traffic lights.
He drove her a fair distance, I'd say.
I feel like I'm seeing a signet ring. It's a gold small signet ring.
Can we turn the photo over for a moment? Okay, thank you.
This is the first time Deb has seen Tracey's photo.
Tracey. Bear. Something seemed to happen in the car on a sexual basis.
He starts touching me and I tell him I'm crying. I don't want him to touch me.
She's not telling me rape, but I am definitely getting this strangulation more than anything.
I feel like I'm being choked. My head's going round like I'm going to pass out.
But it doesn't feel like hands around the neck. It feels like something he used, something like a string, a rope.
I feel like he's grabbed something else and he's wrapped it around a couple of times and then he's pulled it.
It's a stocking. It's stretching. She's stretching it around. So to me, it could be a stocking. Because he had an intent. He knew what he was going to do, and he knew he had to kill.
I know he's going to kill me. I'm trying to fight him off.
So you've got struggling still, but still. It's like exhaustion.
My heart's coming out my chest. I can't breathe again. Okay, she's gone out. It's gone black. Okay. But he hasn't killed her yet.
Looks like he just dragged her out of the side door. Yeah, the front side door. I think he did more when she was out of the car.
She took another breath in and just looked at him, and then that was again. He'd done it again.
And then he finishes. Takes her life at that time, at that point.
She's dead.
And he just walked off.
Now the psychics ask Tracey to describe the area where her body was found.
I keep seeing leaves, a lot of leaves.
I've got trees and like bushland.
It wasn't like he tried to hide that body.
She doesn't think it's that long after that she was found. Probably the next day or something. She's giving me a dog.
Tracey's body was found in bush by a dog the morning after she was murdered. Now Deb asks Tracey to show her on a map of Greater Auckland exactly where her body was discovered.
She's taken me over here, in this area, over here, Henderson Valley sort of area. That's where she was found, up near this scenic drive area. And she lived. Can you show me where you lived? No, I don't want the vision of the house. I want the vision of the map, please. Over here, so Henderson.
Deb is absolutely correct. Tracey lived in Henderson. Her body was found in a lay-by on Scenic Drive in the Waitākere Ranges. Next, we take the psychics to Henderson and challenge them to retrace the schoolgirl's last steps.
It's definitely in this area.
He was following her.
He followed her.
Hold on a minute.
Now the psychics will attempt to follow Tracey's fatal last walk home. On different days, we take them to Lynette's house, where the journey began.
This just feels like home energy, you know, safe, secure, happy. I've still got chatting like friends, a friend.
I want to go down an alley or go down a shortcut. There we go.
The psychics have been told nothing of Tracey's last walk, and yet they are both heading in the same direction towards the shortcut through the park.
A friend is saying, I take you so far, but I've got to go now. I've got to get back.
In 1976, this park was the popular Tui Glen motor camp.
I feel like he came from over there.
Yeah, he's definitely in this area. I'm definitely getting that he was in here first, this area here. But this is not where she was taken, because he followed her.
I feel like he was following her, but then he went around another way.
They split up. The friends had to split up.
This is where she said goodbye.
Her friend went home and she had to rush home, so she sort of had that fast walk in her step. But she went up, I feel that she went up the hill, because the house is up over the hill a little bit. So you have to go up there.
I feel like I want to keep going over this way here.
The psychics are correct. Tracey's house in Delwood Avenue was up the hill and to the right. They now continue Tracey's journey up Great North Road.
There used to be a shortcut over here because a house is that way.
Tracey often took a shortcut through Henderson Primary School.
The car's coming up and then stopped around here.
I feel like he's come up here, pulled the car in over there.
She's still walking while he's talking to her and he's driving slowly.
He stopped. OK, got it now. OK, I can see his car. He's pulled his car over there, which means she's had to stop to talk to him. I can see, because he's saying, excuse me.
Can you help me out?
Yes. He's saying, where is this? And she said, oh, I don't know. I've got to go.
Are you from around here?
Yeah, I am.
Look, I've got a map in the car. Can you help me out?
He talks to her on the side, looks around,
Yeah, sure.
and pushes her in the car.
I think the stocking went pretty much around her neck straight away because he had hold of her. Yeah. And off they went.
I'm being drawn to his energy right over on these hills, over that way, in that direction. OK, I want to go. And that's where he decided to actually dump her body and take her there, because he knew that area.
Sue is pointing directly towards the Waitākere Ranges, where Tracey's body was found. This is where Tracey Ann Patient's final journey ended. The roadside lay-by and scenic drive has barely changed in 30 years. Today, it gives no hint of the horror that once unfolded here. On different days, we drive psychics Deb and Sue towards the Waitākere Ranges to see if they can locate the lay-by where Tracey's body was found.
She's just petrified of what she knows that he means business, that he's not just going to drop her off somewhere.
She's got something around her neck. I feel pressure around my neck as we're going up the hill. And it gets tight every so often, then it's loose, but it's always firm. He's driving, but he's holding on to the stocking.
My stomach's just turning over.
Around her neck again.
I feel like it's really getting closer now.
Definitely getting closer.
Okay.
There's going to be a road or like a turn off that we're going to go down. I think we go to the right when we turn off.
The lay-by is at the end of this stretch of road. To reach it, the psychics will have to turn right.
And that might be it, because it's just on the ridge of the hill here. We'll have to turn right just here somewhere. There's a road here. This road here. Turn right here. Oh, so there's the track, there's the dirt. Here it is. We have to stop here because we have to go for a walk. I think he took her in here.
Tracey's body was found off a track to the right.
It's not far, it's just here, right here, behind here. She's just there. There she is. She's standing over there. She's there. Look at her. There she's going. There. Look. So there she is. She's found just here. This is the track. I knew there was a track of some kind with stones on it, and her body was just placed in here.
Incredibly, Deb has found the exact location where Tracey's body was discovered.
It's just here. I don't have to go too far in, and that's where Tracey laid.
On a different day, Sue also wants to turn right at the Waitākere Dam car park.
I've got to go from this way. He's drove up here. He drove in here. She's in the passenger side on the front. He pulls her under her arms and turns this way. And looking around here.
Sue is walking straight towards the area where Tracey's body was found.
You stop. I feel I want to go down here. She's pulling me. He pulls her down here. I see him just doing this.
Sue has also found the exact location.
This is where she is. This is where it was.
The Waitākere Ranges cover more than 17,000 hectares. Using only their psychic ability, Sue and Deb have located the exact spot where the body of 13-year-old Tracey Ann Patient was discovered. Because there was no sign of a struggle at the lay-by, the police concluded that Tracey was probably not killed where her body was found. But the psychics tell a different story about her last moments on Earth.
She's limp getting out of the car, so I think he choked her enough to take the breath away, but she's still alive.
She came around, but then he choked her.
And there was more tightening. I'm getting more tightening.
He murders her here.
He actually killed her in this area just here. This is where she was actually killed.
The psychics may have solved the mystery of where Tracey was killed. If she was semi-conscious when pulled from the car, there may not have been a struggle.
He comes from this area. He comes from this area.
He lived locally, but I think he actually lived quite locally, to absolute truth. Feels like he's quite close.
He's moved away from this area now.
He's gone north. Something, she keeps pointing up north. Go up, she says. Go up.
He's got a partner. He's got 2 children. He's got 2 boys. I feel like they're separated. Him and his partner are separated now.
Say it again. It's a G. It's a or
Deb gives a full name of the man she believes killed Tracey. Now Deb comes out with another extraordinary piece of information.
Must have been a piece of jewellery or something missing, because I got something shiny. She's indicating to me again that shine. It's a gold ring. But it's only small. She's only got little fingers. There's something on the ring itself. There's like an imprint of something or a carving. Is it a heart? Something. Or a shield. It's a heart or a shield. Oh, it's not on her hand. She pulled it off in the car. She left it in the bottom of the car. It's like leaving a trail, you know. She's a smart girl.
Next, a team of investigators examine the psychic's clues and reveal the stunning truth about Tracey's signet ring.
The psychics were absolutely correct when they said a signet ring was critical to the case.
The psychics have come up with some interesting new information in the Tracey Ann Patient murder case. But to crack the case, hard evidence is required. Former detective Duncan Holland heads a team of investigators. Using conventional methods, they have researched the psychic's leads with the aim of producing some hard facts.
My team has investigated the leads provided by the psychics and come up with some fascinating new information in the Tracey Ann Patient murder inquiry.
Must have been a piece of jewellery or something missing. It's a gold ring.
It's a gold small signet ring.
It's a heart or a shield.
Police confirmed that a gold shield-shaped signet ring was missing from Tracey's body.
She left it in the bottom of the car. That's where the ring was.
2 years after the murder, a man anonymously phoned police to say Tracey's ring could be found in a rubbish tin in the nearby suburb of Avondale. Her family and the police concluded the ring was Tracey's.
It was like saying, well, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? You know?
The mystery caller also said the number 126040 would help solve the murder. Police investigated dozens of possibilities that led nowhere.
Library card numbers, lottery numbers, hospital reference numbers.
Tracey, don't play around with me. What's this got to do with it?
We asked the psychics the relevance of the number.
He's a tricker. He's laughing. I can hear him laughing.
He was playing games to take them off the track. And then they're going to be looking or searching for something related with that number, which would never be found, you see. I do feel that he has tried to do this before.
He just drives around looking and then, you know, picks his victims.
He was also watching around the school.
Police working on the original inquiry confirmed that there was a stalker out that night. On Great North Road, just outside Henderson Primary School, a man driving a cream or white Mark II Cortina trailed a teenage jogger.
I get a light blue car.
A light coloured car.
The terrified jogger escaped by taking a shortcut through Henderson Primary, just minutes before Tracey would have walked past the school.
I feel that she used to take a cut through here.
Sue thought that Tracey intended to take the same shortcut through Henderson Primary. Lynette has since confirmed Tracey often went home that way. So it's possible that the stalker in the Cortina was nearby when Tracey reached the school.
He pushed her into the car. She didn't go willingly.
Police presumed Tracey got into a car with someone she knew because no screams were heard.
I think the stocking went pretty much around her neck straight away.
If Deb is right, Tracey may have been unable to scream. Our research into ligature strangulation shows victims usually lose consciousness within 10 to 15 seconds.
There was no evidence of sexual assault.
Police investigations could not confirm a definite motive for Tracey's murder. There was no evidence she had been raped.
Something seemed to happen in the car on a sexual basis.
He starts touching me and I don't want him to touch me.
Both psychics agree that Tracey was not actually raped, but they are certain the killer's motive was sexual.
It's a G, it's a or
Deb provided a full name of the man she thought killed Tracey. For legal reasons, we can't disclose this name.
He lived locally.
He comes from this area.
At the time of the murder, 2 men with this name lived in Henderson. One of them lived only 1 kilometre from where Tracey disappeared.
I feel that he works in like a factory, but he lifts heavy machinery.
In 1976, this man worked with heavy machinery.
And he's got dirty fingers with grease or whatever.
Messing about with an engine.
Our investigations reveal he is now working as a mechanic and lives just north of Henderson.
He's gone north. Something, she keeps pointing up north.
We will pass details of this man and other leads provided by the psychics onto Henderson Police.
The devastating impact on Tracey's family was felt deeply by the psychics, who were taken to the patient's old neighbourhood.
They just wanted to get away from the memories, okay, of what happened here. They'll never return here again.
I think it was even difficult leaving, but they had to get on, and that's the only way they could cope with it.
Soon after the murder, the patients fled to England with Tracey's body. They spent the last of their money burying a precious daughter.
Tracey said they don't forget about her, but they just try and live. They just try and not think about it. In the back of the mind, she's always there.